Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Marilyn Anafoma Anafo. It's always an honor having you here. And if you're new to this page, hi sweetie, how are you doing? So today we are moving to South Africa to apply for the famous Mandela Rhodes Foundation Scholarship. Now, this prestigious scholarship are not just looking for people with good grades, they are looking for young African leaders to give the scholarship to. The scholarship covers a 1 year honors degree or a 2 year master's degree in any field at a recognized South African institute. Again, in any field as a recognized South African institute. It covers your tuition and registration fee. They provide allowance for study materials, research, medical aid, as well as accommodation and meals. Now, the most important and interesting part of this scholarship is that they provide you mentorship programs. Unlike other scholarships that will just pay your school fees and give you allowances, this one includes a compulsory leadership development program, which I think is the best thing any scholarship could do for you. So, as usual, I've added the link to the scholarship in the description box for you to go. But before we start with the application process, I would be so grateful if you could click the subscribe button to my YouTube channel so anytime I post a new video, you will be notified. I'll just give you 2 seconds to do that before we continue. Okay, now that you are done, let's get into it. When you come here, you click here, see if you qualify. It will bring you to this page, and then this is just basically asking you questions. So I can study at a postgraduate level in English. So if you could speak English, yeah, you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. I am a citizen of an African country. I am between the ages of 19 and 29. And by the 1st of January 2027, I will have an undergraduate degree with excellent academic results above 70% or a second class upper. So if you have second class upper and above, you're eligible to apply. And this part, if you are in level 400 right now, and you know that by January of next year you would have graduated, you are eligible to apply. Now let's look at how our Mandela Rose Scholars selected. This scholarship, as I said, do not just look for people with good grades. They are looking for people that have like leadership, reconciliation, education, entrepreneurship. These are the four pillars of the Mandela Rhodes Scholarship. Leadership, reconciliation, education, entrepreneurship. I'll just let you read it for yourself. Then let's go to frequently asked questions. People are always asking, what does the scholarship covers? It covers tuition, it covers accommodation, allowances, and all that. What the scholarship doesn't cover, it's like money for you to do your passport or your visa. They don't cover that. You have to do that. And if you don't have a passport at this point, please apply for a passport. And the application process, you do not have to apply to the school before applying for this scholarship. You can apply to both of them concurrently. You just have to like put in your applications to the school when you are done. But the most important thing is that you should know the school that you are applying to, because in your scholarship application they'll ask you which school are you applying to. But it doesn't mean that you should apply for admission and get accepted before you can apply for the scholarship. No, where can you study at? So these are all the universities that are eligible for you to apply. Again, this is where I came. Frequently asked questions. Then where can I study at? You see all the schools that you can apply to, and here you can just click in one of the schools and look at their applications requirements and then eligibility requirements. So I think this is the University of Johannesburg. If you come to the faculty, look at the various faculties. I think they have everything. Let me look for engineering. So I click at the Faculty of Engineering. Then let's scroll down. Okay, there's postgraduate here. Let's look for postgraduate information, and this is the page. I think you should be able to find everything that you are looking for at the various universities. Again, these are all the universities that you can apply to. So just look at a program that you want to apply to at these universities, and then put in your application as well as putting in your application for this program. So how do I apply? Application deadline is on the 14th of April 2026. You have like more than a month to put in your application. And let's check the timeline. So March, You put in your application on March. The application open on Monday. Today is Wednesday, so you have enough time. Then application deadline is on the 14th of April, and by July you would be notified. And August, yeah. So as I said, you don't have to apply for admissions first before applying for this scholarship, but I will strongly advise that while you are applying to this scholarship, you should also be applying to the school. So you work on them at the same time. And the second step is that you should check your eligibility, participation. They are saying that this program, they really appreciate people that participate. So attendance is compulsory. And here they also say that if you get the scholarship, you cannot defer it for next year. So if you get a scholarship, you have to go for it. So you cannot say that, okay, I'm taking a deferment for like the other year to come. So you have to go for the scholarship. Now, the third step is that you should get your documents ready. And one thing that these people are so particular about is recommendation letters. So you will be asked to provide three recommended during your application. We'll do that in a few steps. You provide people that will put in your recommendation letters, and then they will submit. Mandela Rhodes Foundation Scholarship will send an email to your recommenders to fill it. So once you start your application, you can just input the names and the emails of the people that you want to recommend you, and then the foundation will send them emails, and they'll fill the recommendation on your behalf. So the earlier you do it and the earlier you remind your recommenders, first, that it will work for you. And then documentations, here they are saying that you will need your degree certificate, your transcripts, ID and passport documents, just normal application documents. Then you'll be required to write two short essays, one on your personal journey and one on a specific question. We'll get into that in a few seconds. Then applications to the university, you'll be asked to fill in your proposed course of study on your application. As I said, you are not required to apply for admissions first, but then they will ask you which school do you want to apply to, and then the course that you're applying to. So please have an idea of the school that you want to apply to. And then there's an important information here that I want us to like look through. They say that do your qualifications meet the requirements for your proposed course of study? Each country has its own framework for registry and rating qualifications levels. In South Africa, this is managed by the South African Qualifications Agency, SAQA. So what these people do is that they take your work and then they see if you meet their qualifications, and then I don't think it's all universities or all programs that require this SACA verifications, but then please check because you would need it. So this is the official page of the SACA thing. I will add the link to the description too. You can come here and then you submit your documents for evaluation. It's a straightforward something. And SACA takes a few weeks to get your documents verified. So if you know the school that you're applying to, it's best you start now. So now that we are done, let's start with the application process. If you are done, you come and click here, apply. You'll be required to create an account. I've already created an account. That's why it just logged me in. So here are your eligibility. They've already mentioned it again. Section A is your personal information. Then they have sections to section I. So this is eligibility. They will just be asking you questions. Are you a citizen of the country? Yeah. Do you plan to study at a South African university? Yes. Institute, I put the University of Cape Town. Then what level, masters, date of birth, all this information, blah blah blah. You can fill it yourself. Then the next one is recommended. So this is where you filled so this is where you fill the information for your recommender. So here you have the title, the first name of the recommender, the last name, the email address, and then the type. Is it like your professor or maybe your boss? If it's your boss, it's general. If it is a professor, you put there academic. Then you send invitation. Once you click here, send invitation, the person that is going to recommend you will receive that information to put in their recommendation for you. So please, once you start the application, hurry up and come and do this part so that they have enough time to recommend you. Now let's go to section by section. Section A is personal details. You can fill it yourself. Then section B is basic application details. Have you applied for the Mandela Rhodes Scholarship before? No, I haven't. Name of institute that I'm applying to, you put it there. Please enter the course of study you want to apply to. Here you put it there. Level of course is a master's. Is it a 1 year master or a 2 year master's? Then you indicate it there. Then let's go to section C. Section C is asking for your contact information. This is something that you can do. Section D is talking about your high school certificates, and yeah, this is personal too. You can do that. Then section E, it's about your tertiary institutions, your university. When did you start? For me, I started the 4th of January 2020 to somewhere in August 2024. So you put your informations there. Then you upload your transcript. If you have a diploma, you upload. If you don't, forget about it. If you've attended another university too, you click here and then you add it. If you don't have, you leave it. Then let's go to section F. Section F, it's where I want us to focus on your CV. So here they are saying that attach a CV no longer than 3 pages, which includes your work experience, activities, achievements, and interests from high school onwards. Please ensure that you stick to the maximum number of pages allowed. So you're allowed only 3 pages. A 3 page. If your CV it's like 4 pages, please forget about it. They will not look at it. So I always say that if your CV is even like 2 pages, please, please submit it. Then personal statement. This is where I want us to focus on. So here you are asked to write 2 essays. The first essay is your personal statement, normal personal statement that everybody writes. Tell us about your life journey this far that has brought you to the point of applying for this scholarship. Also include what your vision for the future is and how you see the Mandela Rhodes Scholarship contributing to that. Please state word count. The word count is 500 words, which is like a normal 1 page essay. And then here they are very specific. They say that you should tell us your life journey. So let's say I studied agriculture engineering. What led me to studying agriculture engineering in summary, and then why I am now applying for the Mandela Rhodes Foundation Scholarship. Include your vision for your future. And as I said, the Mandela Scholarship is based on 4 pillars. That is leadership, reconciliation, entrepreneurship. Please, when you're writing your personal statement, please include these things. Let's say you were a president or something, include that. What did you do during your time as a president? Were there conflicts that you resolved? Like, add all those information to your personal statement. And also add why you've picked the school that you are applying to and the course. And then please align it with like your 4 pillars. Always align it with the 4 pillars that you're applying to. So please, personal statement is something that you've been writing. Now let's go to the interesting question. It says that the World Economic Forum has identified polarization as one of top 3 global challenges. Reconciliation and reparation is one of Mandela Rhodes Foundation founding principles, which invites us to build bridges across divides and reflect on our shared humanity. Within this context, think of an individual or a group of people who you have struggled to reconcile with personally and share what needs to shift within you to move towards reconciliation. You must limit your response to 750 words. So, this question is so interesting, and I love it so much because they are asking us for reconciliation and forgiveness, which a lot of us struggle on the daily. They want to know, was there a time that you had a disagreement with somebody, a group of people, be it because of their religious belief, political beliefs, and then at the end of the day, you have to come to the conclusion this person and I do not share the same beliefs, we can still agree to like coexist. They want people that can lead people even though they do not agree with them. you're applying for a leadership like scholarship. Can you lead these people even though you people do not see eye to eye on certain issues? They want to know about that. So if I were to be writing this essay, I'm going to write the time when I didn't agree with maybe my friend, my classmates, my mom, political views, or like anything about anything at all. And then I write about the point in which I finally realized, so maybe my mom and I do not agree on these issues. We can disagree to agree on this, or we can agree to agree disagree on this issue. So write about that. They're not looking for perfection. Don't write that, okay, at the end of the day, this person realized that I was right and then they were wrong. They don't want a point where you were right and then the other person was wrong. They want a point where maybe you are standing in front of a six and then they are standing at the end of a nine. So that to see that yes, you are a person, like you are vulnerable, you are able to forgive, you are able to reconcile, you are able to coexist with people that do not actually have like the same beliefs as you, but then for the sake of humanity and for the sake of our shared humanity, you are able to like tolerate them. That is what this question is asking about. A simple and please just write about your personal experience. A lot of us have like conflicts with so many people, be it our friends. We are always disagreeing. This is your chance to put your disagreements on paper. And that is the end of the business. The next section, that is section I, is just talking about maybe how did you hear about the scholarship, and then if you don't get recommended for the scholarship, do you give permission to the foundation to share your details with a third party? And you can click yes on it. And the last part is like consent and declaration. So you see, this scholarship application is actually very, very, very easy. Things are interesting. That is if you have like something to write about, and you would always have something to write about. So this is the end of our scholarship application. If you've still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. But then if you found this video interesting, I'll be glad if you share the video with your friends, like, comments, and then I will see you in my next scholarship video. Have a nice day. Bye. Mwah.